Hi everyone and welcome to this video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking you through broadcast email stats. How do you know what's effective versus what is not effective? It was one of the biggest questions that Adam and I had when we started running broadcast emails. It was kind of like, okay, we send out 100 emails and 20 of them get open. Is that good? Is that bad? What are we basing these statistics off of? So I want to show you, number one, how you find your open rates. And number two, walk you through understanding if your emails are effective or if they're not. And so let's go ahead and pop in. I'm going to just share my screen here and pop into the back office of Now Lifestyle. Now you can be under your lead capture system and under message and broadcast is where we're going to go. And I'm showing you here these are the pending broadcasts that I have set up right now. And so you see a string of them essentially for the next week that we have set up ready to go. But we're not going to pay attention to those. We're actually going to look underneath that at sent broadcast emails. And so what I want to call out real quick are a couple of things. Number one, the subject line, very important. Number two, are how many were sent and how many were opened, okay? So in order to know if your emails are being successful or if they're effective, you wanna know how many have been opened. That's cool. So how many on average, like if you were to say, and we asked this question, give us a percentage. What percentage do we wanna hit? What's a good baseline or is gonna measure success for us? The average open rate for broadcast emails, if you have anywhere from a 10 to 12%, your broadcast emails are effective. It means they're getting opened and they're getting read. Honestly, if you've got anything other than, upwards of 12%, that's a really, really, really good subject line. And so I want to walk you through a couple of things here, how to tell if they are effective. So I typically don't measure mine until like the week after. I will go back and look because sometimes people don't always, when they get an email, they may not always open it up. They may give it a couple days and open it up. So these numbers here underneath open will change and you'll see our sent also changes. So you see down here, we've got like 600, we have 1,000 up here. That's just been as our list has grown, that how many we're sending out is going to continue to grow, as will yours. So for example, I'm going to measure something that we sent out earlier this week. So on June 5th, we sent out to 932 people and 168 of them open. Like I said, I typically measure the week before. So I'll go back for the prior week as I'm doing my broadcast emails and kind of see, okay, what was really effective? What were the things that people were opening? And what you can do and how you want to calculate that is take how many were open. So I'm going to take 168 divided by how many we sent, 932. That's an 18%. Sorry if you can't see that. That's an 18% open rate. That's pretty freaking good. What I'm going to do as a smart business owner is I'm going to take this subject line, can you win with this business? And I'm going to actually, what I do is I put it into a spreadsheet and I'll show you here really, really quick. This is just kind of a simple thing for me to do so I can keep track of what's working. I actually keep a personal spreadsheet. I need to up that because that changed. That's 18%. Okay. I actually keep a spreadsheet of my subject lines that rate, anywhere in the 10 to upwards percentage. I just think it's really important to do. And I don't typically reuse them all the time. But what I'll do is maybe if I'm struggling to find a subject line that I want to use, I'll go back and I'll look at this list and I may reuse it the same. I may reuse it, but change a word or two. But I know what's effective for the people that are getting my emails and receiving them. And what, your whole goal on sending out a broadcast email or an email is for somebody to open it and somebody to read it. So you want to really aim for that 10 to 12% open rate. Okay. As far as clicks go, I don't actually believe right now that those are being tracked. So you don't need to worry about them. Just worry about your open rate. Okay. And how do you end up getting good open rates? Well, you've got to play with it. We typically tend to touch on pain points. So we'll ask someone a question around a pain point. So, can you win with this business? That was an 18% open rate. One that gets a really, really, really good open rates is you earned your first commission. And we essentially will tell a story to that person around, someone on our team that earned a big commission or earned their first commission. And, wouldn't it be great to wake up on a Monday morning or whatever morning we have it set up to go out and get that email that, you have an extra $500 in your account. That'd be awesome, right? That one tends to get opened up quite a bit. Let me go back to my spreadsheet that I pulled together here. We will oftentimes do this RE, so reply, which is a really good and kind of clickbaity way to get people to open up your emails, but it actually proves to be pretty effective. We had a webinar that was a really good one. And like I said, you can always plug people into the webinars. You can invite them out to the conference room, the live conference room, or if it's going to be on a Facebook page or one of our Facebook groups, you can always link them out there and ask them to join. Those seem to get really high open rates. I did one about wet socks and success. I've actually sent that email out twice. I've changed it up a little bit, but it was just telling a story about, entrepreneurship was a really good one. Sometimes we'll do a little more clickbaity ones like this one, where is the bathroom? That's just really random. It had a 13% open rate though. It really worked well for us. We had one that said she quit, WTF, with a question mark in all caps. People wanted to know. So we'll typically make it something that's very either like a question or a statement, and something that's really exciting that we want to catch people's attention. Now, again, going back to those broadcast emails, let me stop sharing my screen here. Going back to the broadcast emails, over time, you will get better at them. You will become better at your subject lines as you really start to hone in on your story and some of the things that you want to talk about. And so, from the beginning, and we have different tips and tricks and things for kind of getting your broadcast email foundation set up. But you really have to find your own style. You have to find your own groove. And what might work for you may not work for somebody else. And so, Adam and I test tons of different subject lines and we track them. So we'll typically go back for the prior week and look to see okay, how'd we do? What were our stats? What were our open rates? And we try to measure that. And we'll capture the subject lines that have higher open rates. And we'll typically run those or a version of those of the same subject line. We might actually make the email different, but pertaining to the subject line, just because we know that it works, right? And then we'll remeasure it and we'll see, okay, how did it do this time? Was it a higher rate or not? So that should help answer your questions on your broadcast emails, if they're effective or not. You measure effectiveness by their open rate currently. Now, down the road, we may have more analytics and data to pull that can help us understand, are these broadcast emails really effective? But you want to really aim for that 10 to 12% sweet spot. And anything above 12% is gravy. You're doing it right, and keep doing it that way, okay? So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in, the Skype group, the Facebook community. You can always follow up with your coach, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.